Hey, what's up everybody? So we are here to talk about the 4K of Ferris Bueller's Day Off or the 4K of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I'm not really sure which one's which. Paramount, come on. Let's do better. So of course, like I was alluding to, the only difference is the actual disc inside. Which, I mean, really, when you're looking for an upgrade from 4K, it's nice to get different artwork on the steelbook. I mean, they gave a slipcover, and it's kind of almost the same as this, really. It's kind of him dead straightforward instead of off to the side, and he's not in the car. But for the most part, there wasn't really much difference between the two in the first place. It's, white background, his face, whatever. But it would have been nice if Paramount would have kind of changed up the steelbook just a little bit to make it not the exact same. But, I mean, really, you're buying the upgrade for the 4K, and let's talk about it. So, of course, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the 4K upgrade, is a 4K scan, but I really don't believe they put out, at least from what I could see, they put out where they actually got the scan from. So we're not sure if it was from a camera negative or not. But either way, HDR10, Dolby Vision, it does wonders to this movie. I know Paramount kind of had a track record with DNR, and it made a lot of their movies, or at least the 4K upgrades that they've had, not look so great. I think Fatal Attraction, I actually never even watched that, but the reviews that I heard was the DNR basically made it kind of almost look like how the Terminator was, the Terminator 2 4K upgrade, where it just looked not good. It looked really clean, and there was no grain whatsoever. Same thing with Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I know that movie, or that upgrade at least, gets a lot of hate. I thought it was okay, but you definitely could notice. It does seem for the most part that they let the film grain go in this movie. You can definitely see it. It's not a whole bunch. It's not, going to hit you in the face with film grain. But of course, any movie that's not filmed digitally is going to have film grain. It happens. It makes sense. Really, in my opinion, I feel like as long as you clean it up a little bit, film grain looks good. It looks natural to a film. That's how it's supposed to look. But, of course, I'll have photos here and here. I don't know why I just swung my hand. But I'm going to have photos here and here, like I always do. 4K versus Blu-ray, it just makes sense. What I'll have is I'll have the photos up here, I'll label them. You can kind of make your own opinion off of those photos. They are photos taken from my 4K camera, off of my 4K TV, so they're not going to be the exact thing that you're looking at if you bought the movie, or the same thing that I'm looking at, but I'm trying to give you at least an idea of what the 4K and the Blu-ray is going to look like. I really think overall, this 4K looks 10 times better. Really, you can kind of see the detail in their face. I always say this, but really Blu-ray, for the most part, back in the day at least, it seemed like they brightened the picture like crazy. You'll get that orangish hue over their skin tone, and kind of makes their skin like, an orange or really kind of a darker-ish tan looking. In this movie, you'll kind of notice, at least in the Blu-ray that I noticed, it looks like they brighten the picture up, so it makes it look just super bright. It kind of drowns out some of the color in the picture, in their clothes and stuff like that. So the 4K does a good job at kind of bringing that down, so it's not just a blown out picture with a bunch of light added to it to kind of brighten up the photo. It really gives the characters and the clothes they're wearing and the environment that they're in, it gives it more of a natural look. And, some might say maybe the movie's a little bit darker, but really that just makes more sense. The picture quality is a little darker, so you see more detail on their clothes, see more detail on their face. So overall, yes, you might see in these photos that they're a little bit darker, but you really can see more of the shadow on their faces and, how they move and stuff like that. It just looks a lot better in my opinion, and really you see a lot more color overall. I mean, really, Cameron's dad's car, come on. That cherry red, it just looks phenomenal. Especially driving in the city, you see a lot of the background and, the buildings, the other cars, the people. It just seems like it looks like a more natural color. So, surprisingly, we do get an audio upgrade with the Dolby Atmos track. I mean, I'm kind of surprised. I figured they would just kind of stick with the regular audio that came with the Blu-ray, but I'm not mad at it. I know some movies that we do get from 4K, they stick with a 5.1 or whatever the original was, and then they don't upgrade it whatsoever, and you know, we all kind of think, why would you not? This movie, I mean, it's really dialogue driven. It's not a over the top, there's not explosions, there's not a lot of crazy action, but I will say this, it does really benefit from this. I'm not gonna lie, I say this every video, I have a soundbar and I have a subwoofer, and that's it. But for the most part, this movie overall, compared to the Blu-ray, definitely still sounds better. I mean, you have, of course, him singing Donkashane, however you want to pronounce it, but you have him singing that, and it does sound a lot better. It sounds more atmospheric, almost, I guess, if that would make sense for you guys, but it seems like it just kind of emphasizes a lot of the background noise and gives it more of like a widespread where you're watching it, you know, dogs barking and stuff like that. Like it, I guess maybe seems more menacing when the dog attacks him. I don't know. That's for you to decide. But I really enjoyed it. I'm glad they gave us Dolby Atmos. Did we need it with this movie? Probably not, but I'm happy we got it. So talking about special features really quick, really there's not any difference whatsoever. There's one thing that makes the 4K huge compared to the Blu-ray, and it's commentary from John Hughes throughout the entire movie. I mean, it's John Hughes. You'd love to pick his brain, especially writing, directing all of these classics throughout the 80s and 90s. I mean, come on. Why would you not want to listen to what he has to say about his movie? So that's the only difference from the Blu-ray to the 4K, at least that I could find. But really, if you're a John Hughes fan, that's a huge difference. I mean, really, it's, yeah, you're gonna get the upgrade for the picture quality and the Dolby Atmos, you know, that's nice. But really, if you're a John Hughes fan, this is kind of worth the upgrade just to get the commentary. With that being said, though, let me know what you guys thought of the 4K down below. Did you pick it up? Are you gonna pick it up? Are you okay with the Blu-ray? Do you think it's stupid that they just basically repeated the exact same steelbook? I don't know. I think it kind of is dumb. You think if you're doing a 4K, just get different art. Do something different. I don't care what it is, but something. Either way, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, do all that fun stuff. We're getting close to 500 subscribers. That means a giveaway. So subscribe and help me out. It's free. You just push a button. Either way, we'll see you guys in another video.